Now that the shrimp has thawed, I squeeze it, and look at this. What is this?
A video filmed in a kitchen in China has exploded online. A man holds a supermarket-bought shrimp and squeezes it hard. To his shock, a large amount of thick, transparent, gel-like substance oozes out from inside the shrimp. It looks like glue and feels like glue. Sticky. Has anyone else encountered this before? He picks up another shrimp and repeats the same squeeze, producing the same strange result. There's some inside this shrimp too. See that? When I squeeze it, this sticky stuff comes out. Shrimp after shrimp. Every single one releases this weird gel-like substance. This one has it. That one too. Everyone, look. This one as well. He speaks to the camera in disbelief and confusion. Can anyone with professional knowledge of shrimp explain to me what this sticky glue-like substance inside the shrimp is? What exactly is this? Can these shrimp even be eaten? This is not an isolated incident. It is a daily reality affecting millions of Chinese families. The gel-like substance is a notorious industrial additive known as a water retention agent, a chemical mix of polyphosphates, carrageenan, caustic soda, and other substances injected into the shrimp. It causes their weight to increase by 20 to 40%. The undercover reporting reveals factory workers injecting each shrimp with syringes. Meanwhile, large baskets of shrimp are soaked in chemical-filled baths, turning 100 catty, about 50 kilograms of shrimp, into 124 catty, an increase of 24% in weight. Workers admit, we don't even eat this ourselves. These water retention agents restructure the shrimp's protein, making muscle cells absorb water and swell rapidly. They mask fishy odors and extend a fake freshness period. Even spoiled shrimp can still be sold at high prices. Have you heard of a red-tip shrimp? In Chinese morning markets, farmers markets, and even some online live streams, these are marketed as a premium wild prawn variety, selling for 5 to 10 yuan more per catty than regular shrimp. But here's the problem. Red-tip shrimp do not exist biologically. It's neither a new species nor wild caught. It's a blatant commercial scam. Let me show you first. This is the normal big shrimp we sell. Its color has a slight red tint, but not that bright. So how does it become so red and good looking? Here, it's a red-tail shrimp. Add some hot water and watch this. It's amazing. Once you put it in, it instantly turns red. Even the claws turn red after dipping them in the hot water. The head and claws are red now. Pretty, right? Color looks nice. And compare this. This one is normal, and this one is processed. The normal color is a bit dark red, while the dipped one turns bright red. Actually, these shrimps are the normal 20 to 30 count big shrimp we sell, about this size. These are Ecuadorian South American white shrimp. This coloring trick is especially popular with street vendors. It costs almost nothing. Just a pot of hot water, a basin, a strainer, and takes minutes to create a whole batch of red shrimp. Yet, the selling price jumps several levels above that of frozen white shrimp. Even worse, these hot water beautified shrimp have likely been thawed multiple times, losing all freshness. Their bright red surface hides the fact that they are already rotten and spoiled. The only thing deceiving buyers is the appearance. This red dipping technique is just the entry-level method in the seafood fraud industry. It reveals a harsh truth. As long as people are willing to cheat, there will be buyers. When the red-tip shrimp color scam was exposed, counterfeiters quickly upgraded their tactics, moving from injecting whole shrimp to modifying shrimp meat on an industrial scale. When it comes to shrimp meat, the ice glaze helps prevent moisture loss and bacteria growth. Industry standards say the ice glaze should be less than 20% of the weight, but since this rule isn't mandatory, many sellers add a lot more ice glaze to make extra profit. Like with this shrimp meat here. After thawing 1 pound, more than half a pound is actually just water. The entire fraud chain covers a market worth hundreds of billions and affects countless dining tables. But the darkness behind it is only beginning. Are you curious why barbecue stalls serve crabs year-round with full roe? No matter the season, every crab's shell is packed full. The truth is that roe is injected into the crabs. First, the fresh crabs are cleaned, then egg yolks from free-range chickens, gold in color and good in taste, are injected into the crab's body as much as possible. But this is just the beginning. The real high-level fraud uses a mix of yellow powder rice soup urea and coagulant injected into live crabs through the shell's underside. After 3 hours, the mixture solidifies inside, creating the visual illusion of natural crab roe. As for the flavor, the chemical sweetness from pigment and rice soup fools the tongue, but not the body. Many people experience nausea, diarrhea, or even hospitalization after eating.
你爱吃蟹钳吗？这不是8月份梭子蟹就要下。
Many people love crab claws for their tasty meat, but industry insiders reveal the truth to the dock workers. Those claw pieces are all taken from dead crabs, painstakingly picked up by workers. Crabs left too long produce histamine, which can cause mild diarrhea or severe illness requiring hospital treatment. After the claws are collected, to cover up the foul smell and histamine, vendors add multiple flavorings and agents, such as ethanol methyl, seafood flavor enhancers, and deodorants. These modified crab claws cost only a few yuan per catty to produce, but are sold as premium cold chain live claws for 60 to 70 yuan per catty. When egg yolk is injected into live crabs, when urea becomes crab roe, and when flavorings mask the smell of death, who can still claim they are eating real seafood? This is not food. It is a repeated test and a violation of consumer trust. If fake shrimp and crab methods stay at injecting, soaking, and water adding, fish fraud takes this deception to a whole new level with no limits to imagination. Have you ever seen dyed fish? In January this year, police in southern China raided 3 illegal processing sites and arrested 6 suspects. They seized large amounts of industrial dyes and dyed fish. This is not an isolated case, but just the tip of a vast dyed fish industrial chain. A social media influencer conducted a test. Just 1 spoonful of industrial dye called alkaline orange mixed in a basin of clean water can instantly turn a white croaker fish into a bright golden wild yellow croaker. Eating too much alkaline orange dye can seriously harm your health. This powder is alkaline orange, used to soak yellow croaker fish in water. So why do some sellers use it to dye yellow croaker? Because many people believe the yellower the fish, the more authentic it is, and the whiter the fish, the less authentic. But actually, this idea is completely wrong. Yep, you heard that right. This is industrial grade dye, highly toxic and carcinogenic, originally used for printing, paper making, and textiles. It is strictly forbidden for food use, but for some unscrupulous merchants, it's a magic tool for raising prices. Even more outrageous is identity fraud. Take these basa fish, a large catfish from Vietnam with loose flesh and a very high water content. These fish eat garbage, urine, and animal carcasses, but once they cross the sea to China, they are given new names and identities, transforming into sole, used in sour fish soup, hot pot, and delivery; limbo fish, used for barbecue, grilled fish; capelin slices, used in sushi and sashimi. 1 fish, 3 identities. Each name changes doubles the price, with uprated packaging to match. Even codfish are unsafe in China. Everyone knows pollock fish, commonly used in barbecue restaurants. It costs about 20 yuan each. What does pollock have to do with codfish? Pollock is a type of codfish from the beautiful Pacific Ocean. Imported cod costs 300 to 400 yuan for 2 catties, about 1 kilogram, while domestic pollock sells for only a dozen yuan per catty. Fresh off the boat, pollock costs just a few yuan per catty. But after being cut into slices and packaged with fancy labels, Pacific cod, Atlantic cod, wild-caught deep-sea fish, they can sell for over 100 yuan per slice. No surprise this industry likes to switch tridents, that is, swapping cheaper fish for premium cod to trick buyers, because they are skilled at deception. This autumn and winter, cod prices are up, and as long as you can open the trident, you get as much as you want. This isn't selling fish, it's psychological marketing. It's selling lies. When this identity fraud reaches its extreme, the ultimate case emerges, using plants, Konjac, to imitate animal protein. Sea cucumbers. In some Chinese night markets, buffets, and cold chain deliveries, a popular affordable sea cucumber is quietly spreading. It has a springy texture and attractive color, but sells for just a few dozen yuan per catty. But the shocking truth is, this is not a real sea cucumber at all. It is a plant sea cucumber, made from konjac powder. In Beihai, Guangxi, unscrupulous merchants take konjac products costing less than 23 yuan per catty, mold, dye, and polish them to transform into premium sea cucumber, selling for over 90 yuan per catty.
At a store in Changsha's Sifangping night market, they sell half a catty for 48 yuan to consumers. Do you think this is a real sea cucumber? I ate quite a bit before realizing something was wrong. This is made from konjac, a fake sea cucumber sold as seafood.
Konjac is a high-fiber plant tuber and is fine as a vegetarian food, but it contains no protein or any nutritional value of sea cucumber. Worse, to simulate real sea cucumber, these konjac products are often treated with heavy metal dyes, flavorings, and elasticizers. The appearance is deceptive, and the texture is very convincing. This means consumers pay seafood prices but eat plant-based food. They think they're consuming collagen, but they're ingesting cellulose and chemical thickeners. But wait, this is not the worst. They've started injecting yellow dye and stimulants into soft-shell turtles, northern snakehead fish, and pond loaches.
They inject yellow pigment and stimulants into the legs of soft-shelled turtles to make them aggressive due to pain. Their bellies turn yellow, fooling buyers to thinking that they were caught in the wild. Northern snakeheads are placed in buckets with black dye and contraceptives to darken their color, making customers more willing to buy. Even pond loaches in the market are plump and white because breeding ponds are filled with additives and contraceptives.
These practices are not occasional, but systemic, and large-scale production methods. What consumers buy is no longer simple food, but chemical cocktails of stimulants, contraceptives, and dyes. Can you still trust the seafood you eat? Want to see all seafood fraud techniques at once? Seafood buffets are like living exhibitions. After testing, professionals were shocked to find that fish labeled as salmon were mostly rainbow trout. The two looked similar, but trout have irregular flesh texture and less fat, lacking salmon's rich flavor. The buffet owner asked me the price of salmon. I said frozen Norwegian salmon costs 150 yuan, fair and square. The owner shook his head, saying others sell it for 60. My friend said, I'll do it for 40, switching trout for salmon in a heartbeat. These two fish are easy to tell apart, but if you slice it up and can still easily tell the difference, then I'll eat my words. If you use real salmon for buffet, the owner wouldn't last 3 months. What about snappers? Most are cheap tilapia imposters. Tilapia is a freshwater fish with many parasites and is unsafe to eat raw, causing diarrhea. Freshly boiled chicken soup contains little chicken meat and barely any fat. The bright yellow color suggests it's mixed with flavoring agents. Freshly squeezed juice, it's all made from concentrated juice and blends, with mango juice even containing fruit peels. Only real item left at this seafood buffet might be kelp. Seafood hyped as golden abalone is mostly large African sea snails, not true abalone. To mimic abalone's color and texture, these snails are soaked in chemical baths for hours, with the solution smelling strongly of laundry detergent. This makes the meat elastic and golden yellow. Some factories even process these golden snails together with sea cucumbers for a second round of dyeing, cooking with black coloring, trimming the teeth, boiling again, then soaking. Workers say they use materials similar to those used for dyeing tree leaves. Seafood treated with this kind of high-tech processing is so unappetizing that even dogs won't eat it. Yet, it is sold to consumers at premium prices, labeled as luxury-grade seafood. Now that we've covered the common seafood fraud techniques, you might think it couldn't get any more shocking. But wait, let's look at 2 more absurd and arguably even more erroneous cases that will truly blow your mind. Old frozen seafood from World War II, the Fat and Foul Tech seafood. How did we give this a second life? Of course, by turning it into seafood buckets. As merchants, we drool just looking at these seafood buckets. First, Vietnamese imported whelk meat that masquerades as Babylonian lutosa. What originally cost dozens of yuan now drops to single digits. Then there's the Peruvian giant squid, rehydrated to the brim, pretending to be octopus tentacles. But when boiled, they become extremely thin and flimsy, almost like a piece of string. Also featured are tiny frozen abalones from a certain street in Turkestan that require a magnifying glass to see. To bulk it up, small clams and nail snails, plus various scrapers, are added. Worse yet, 6 yuan per catty crayfish count as seafood here, and they don't even remove the heads. The selling point? Weight padding, glorified as 10 kinds of seafood in one bucket, to fulfill your seafood dreams. In reality, it's a pile of junk with raw material costing under 10 yuan per catty. In summary, tech seafood is a great scam. Soaking squid and baby octopus in water. When you receive the goods, you'll cry. This year, forget anything else. Just do seafood buckets. This is the pinnacle of profiteering and fraud, a masterpiece of industrial scale counterfeiting. Now, let's talk about squids. Its role in seafood night markets and street stalls is obvious. Though it looks like a low-margin business, it hides shocking chemical manipulations behind the scenes. Summer arrives, seafood street stalls thrive, and squid is the star attraction. Old frozen squid is first coated with water retention agents. It makes the squid firmer and chewier, almost like turning from a weak form into a much stronger one. Add preservation techniques. At 30 degrees Celsius, it doesn't smell at all. Isn't that miraculous? But the most ruthless version is the soaked squid in the hands of the merchant leaders. Pale and ghostly, often found at iron plate grills, in night markets, or as squid rice bowls in delivery orders. To summarize, in summer, seafood is hard to find fresh. So, second-hand frozen goods are everywhere. Night market barbecue stalls and iron plate squid do very well. First get rained on, then soaked, and finally get a massage with thickening agents. 1 catty of squid becomes 1.5 catties. If you skip the important step of drying the squid after processing, you're not skilled or serious about making good squid.